On the fourth night of watching the woods behind my house, I saw him again. He did not step into the yard. He never did. He only stood where the tree line broke the moonlight into scraps, a tall shape folded inside the dark, as if the darkness had learned to imitate a man. Every night, he was there at 2:13 a.m., always in the same place, always facing my bedroom window. My name is Mara Vale. I live alone in an old farmhouse at the edge of Black Alder woods, a place the locals avoid after dusk and blame for every missing dog, every cracked window, every restless dream. The air at night smells of wet bark and cold iron. The woods make sounds like breathing, branches clicking softly together, leaves shifting with no wind, a distant pulse of something knocking below the roots. The first time I saw him, I thought he was a trespasser. The second time, I thought he was playing a cruel game. By the third night, I had the sheriff on the phone, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold the receiver. "If he sets foot on your property, call us," the deputy said. "Until then, there's not much we can do." So I bought a motion camera, set floodlights along the fence, and waited. The camera caught nothing. The floodlights worked perfectly on the yard, the porch, the shed, the rusted child's swing left by the previous owners. But the moment they reached the tree line, the light seemed to thicken and die. I checked the recordings again and again. Empty blackness. Static. Once, for half a second, a face appeared in the grain. Pale, expressionless, with eyes that reflected blue like old television glass. The next night, I stayed awake with every lamp on. At 2:13, he appeared. Only this time, he was closer. I could see he wore a dark coat slick with rain, or something colder than rain. He stood with his hands behind his back, too still to be human, and when I stared hard enough, I realized he wasn't blinking because he had no eyes at all, only smooth shadow where his face should have been. Then my radio, the little emergency scanner I kept in the kitchen, crackled to life. A voice whispered through the static. Not a warning, a count.
1, 2, 3.
I froze. The voice came again, this time from the woods, not the radio. 4. Something old shifted deep among the trees. A shape moved behind him, huge and patient, like an engine turning over beneath the earth. I finally remembered what the previous owner had said the day I bought the house, laughing as if it were a joke. "If you ever see the keeper of Black Alder, don't let him count you." The lights went out. I brought my phone up with trembling fingers, desperate for proof, for a picture, anything. On the screen, the camera opened to a black reflection of my own face. Behind me stood the man in the shadows, close enough that I could feel the cold radiating off him. He placed one hand on my shoulder. It was not a hand. It was a branch, wet and black, and it smelled like the bottom of a grave.